Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka geekxxchic, and we're back with another Cloak Dagger reaction. Cloak Dagger. We are now on episode 9, which is called Blue Note. And the last episode was, I mean, they're all deep, let's be real. There's never like a light episode of Cloak and Dagger. It's a very morose show overall. But last episode, we went through some of Ty's inner demons. The episode prior was all about Tandy, kind of stuff she's been grappling with since season 1, really. It was more, you know, we went through this cool visual of him playing this video game, which was really him dealing with his sense of inadequacy as a son, as a savior slash superhero, as a friend, really just carrying around a lot of guilt and a lot of feeling like he just isn't good enough, and the fact that he was almost ready to check out of life because he was so drained from all of that negative energy. And then again, we had Tandy go in there and do her best to try to pull him out, but unfortunately he didn't quite get it together in time for Evita, who was on the outside doing her best to keep Ty from dying. She basically is latched herself now onto this Loa for the rest of her life. She looks like she probably can't marry anybody else or have any other earthly relationships. So without further ado, let's get into this episode and we will chat about it after. Okay, let's go. 96 G's. Okay, maths, that's 8 months ago? No, 8 years ago. Why would they put that in months? That's what you get. That's right. That's right. God's like, how dare you blaspheme? How dare you blaspheme in my name, boy? You deserve that. Jerk.
That's the Blue Note, baby. And there ain't nothing in this world more powerful than that.
No, that's Tandy's mom. No.
Tyrone, if you ask me about my feelings one more time, I'm seriously gonna kill you.
You can't.
What are we gonna do?
Exactly.
When we
find him.
Well, cross that bridge whenever that bridge becomes a bridge.
That's not quite the expression, and also I think you two need a plan.
That's the other dad. They've all gone crazy or something. Like collective, Manson girl, climbed the bars to get out, said crazy. All we know is that they started humming. First 1, then 2, and now they're all humming the same few notes like some bizarre choir.
That's just so creepy. It's like he has them under his control.
Not if this is about who I think it's about.
Are you allowed to just bring a teenager to a crime scene? I'm pretty sure you're not. I mean, I know she's not exactly operating under real police protocol, but... Oh, Lord, I can't do this math anymore.
We're laying low, Tyrone. People are looking.
Mom, stop. I'm fine. I can take care of myself.
Ooh, so you get reception in the Dark Force dimension? This is good to know. This is information we need.
Okay. Just wanted to know. Keep an eye out for him, okay?
Turtle's like, I ain't gonna ask no more questions with all that bloody paper around your feet. Bye, mommy.
What does that say?
Oh, you can't read?
No.
No. No wonder this poor kid's run with gangs.
Cage in Harlem Rumble by Karen Page.
References left, right, and center. What's little baby face getting in all kinds of trouble when he can't even grow no chest hair? Oh, I don't care about Duchesne. I know this is supposed to be an empathetic moment, but knowing what he has done to these girls, and only girls so far, I can't feel empathetic for him right now.
This is what's left.
This is such an interesting representation of depression, isn't it?
If there's crazed killers in here.
And we'll deal with them. Like we do.
This is a black man question. What if this thing is gonna hurt us? Because everything in my instinct is telling me that we shouldn't do this.
You never even wanted to be a doctor.
I know, but I just can't do that to my dad.
If your dad loves you, he wouldn't stop you from pursuing your dreams.
Of becoming a pimp?
Let me take care of you. Leah, I need you.
This guy was a piece of garbage from day 1.
We have to keep going.
Yeah, you made me go through your stupid video game last week.
So I can hit a blue note.
What's the blue note?
It's what separates a man from a god.
Why are we having this conversation and I'm running?
You didn't tell me it was insane.
Right?
No. I'm just...
I can't do this math. Why can't you just do years? This is so hard.
You're in exactly the right place.
Sorry. This is so angering. The fact that he created this place purely to feed his own selfish need. He is literally the lowest of the low. He doesn't deserve to die quickly.
I know it's a hard time for everyone.
Sorry guys, this is such a triggering topic for me. This is such a triggering topic for me.
An hour ago, she had something I wanted.
She doesn't deserve to die. What happened to the Bridget that believed in justice?
I think she does.
Andy.
She willingly hurt people for years.
Tell you.
You know who I am? Yeah. He's a bitch. That's who.
You think you know so much? You're so
What is happening right now,
People like
Tyrone?
Leah. Yeah, they've had bad shit happen to them.
Yeah.
But that does not justify the bad shit they do to others.
Thank you.
Period.
It is not that
Mayhem.
simple.
Yes, it is.
I hear you. I really do. But that's a significant portion of our business, so we can't be expected.
I can't believe this man's giving a business proposal right now. Listen, in the whole scheme of my business schematics,
Not a
I just can't be.
negotiation. You don't follow my rules, and I'll be fighting you.
Mr. Tyrone, some low hairs.
Whatever she does or doesn't do, that's on you. No one else but you.
You see how she had the nails ready to
No,
go?
one more thing.
Mayhem, girl.
Ready for this?
Candy doesn't look like she's ready for anything right
I don't see
now.
any other options.
I don't, this doesn't feel good at all.
If we have to kill him, we do it together. Just like everything else.
That's the most romantic thing a man can say to you. If a murder has to happen, baby, I want to murder with you.
Wait.
Can y'all use the teleportation and move faster, please? Y'all killing me with this. Y'all Barry Allening this stuff right now, forgetting y'all have some advantages. I'm just... Wow. This is so twisted and terrifying.
What the hell is...
Mom, come on, listen to me. You have to get out of here.
Why are you guys not focusing on the person you killed? I feel like it's too late already. Yeah, it was too late already, wasn't it? Wait, where'd they all go? What the? What?
Did everyone just...
They all just disappeared. I mean, one second they were here and the next.
Where'd they all go?
Look at the thing on the floor. The Vevey. What are the chances that, you know, just some serial killer's behind that door? It's like, ha ha, it's fooled you. Look. This is like some twisted Pied Piper tale. Okay, guys. Well, that was the latest episode of Cloak and Dagger. Man, this show just keeps getting darker and more twisted. Whew. Like, listen, here's the thing. When it comes to these, you know, especially superhero type of shows, you typically have these villains that are very kind of cookie cutter. You know, you got your villain who is super strong, or your villain that has a power that's super, super dangerous. But there's kind of like this idea that, you know, you take them out and it's kind of, you know, it's like you take them out and it's going to be good. You know, the good guys will somehow get in there and end it all. But this is such a twisted and dark version of a villain that's so, like, it's so scary because it's so real. It reminds me, this guy reminds me, like the type of villain he is, reminds me very much of Kilgrave in Jessica Jones season 1. Guy who's got this power that is so insidious and so dangerous that he doesn't need to be super strong. He doesn't need to be super fast. He gets in here and this is the only thing we've got, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this is literally the control center of everything that we do. If this is out of commission, we're out of commission. You feel me? Like, there's no middle ground. So if someone can get in here and do things in here, it's game over. Like, that's it. Like, that's it. You are done. And this is what we've got in Duchesne. He has figured out a way to get into people's heads, into their hearts, into the deepest places of them. And As human beings, our pain and our sorrow and those things that are traumatic to us, they literally change the trajectory of our lives, right? Especially things that have happened to us when we're younger, or just any really massively traumatic event. Like, those things literally shift our brain chemistry. Like, science has proven we're not the same person after that. And so the fact that this villain can tap into that very deep, sacred experience and manipulate that to his will is terrifying. He's literally a Pied Piper of pain. That's really what he is. He's the triple P. And the fact, again, that he's chosen women in particular, I think that's what really bothers me. If he was just finding like anyone, male, female, young, old, you know, whatever, I would be like, okay, like he really is. But he specifically chose young women of color primarily. I mean, we saw there was other women in there too, but young women of color were his primary targets, from poor backgrounds, poor communities, people he knew would not be quote unquote missed by the police or otherwise. The fact that he sat there and he's getting off on it. Like, he can say all he wants, it's about his pain, but it wasn't. The payoff for him is that he's controlling all these women, that he's able to manipulate their futures. The fact that he went and turned them into prostitutes so that he could continue to make sure that their hope never returned, to make sure that they would never get the legs to walk away from him. Like, it's just such a disgusting thing in of itself. So that is why he's unforgivable to me. I know this episode tried to make us empathize with his pain and the reason he did it. And it does explain why he started, but even his reason, oh, I wanted to do this because I lost music, so that gives me the right to take all these people's joy. Because, like, what? Mayhem put it beautifully in this episode where it's like, everyone in light, everyone who's breathing on this planet has been dealt a raw deal in one way or another. Now, yes, some people have had way more of a raw deal than another person, but almost all of us have experienced some version of trauma or unhappiness. There are people who are dealt far worse than Duchenne. People born with medical conditions and missing things. Like, there are people who are born without the ability to hear or the ability to see, or both. Like, who've been dealt much worse a hand than him having some migraines and not being able to play the trumpet anymore. He could have become a music teacher. He could have become a composer. He could have done a lot of other things. But he chose instead to brood and focus on this one thing that he wanted and couldn't have, to the point where he feels entitled to hurt and take from others. And that's what Mayhem was bringing out, was that there's no excuse. That doesn't give him a pass. And the same, I'm sorry, it goes for his little sidekick there. She knew what she was doing. Yes, he manipulated her. Yes, she was his first victim, but she still made conscientious decisions after that to continue to hurt people. And that's where my sympathy for her ended. She's fortunate if she gets to die. That's the easy way out. She should suffer. But I digress. Interesting episode in that as far as like what happened with Tandy, we had some really interesting things with her finally starting to understand what her mother is going through, like from her mom's perspective, because we saw in the earlier part of the season, she was not showing a lot of empathy towards her mom as far as not leaving her father, as far as the addiction she's struggled with all these years. And when she was sitting there defending this woman on the floor, it was clear that she's starting to finally understand that it's not as simplistic as what she might have been thinking of, black and white, like, why didn't she leave? Why did she do these things? There is a lot that goes into it, and like the understanding that there is a victim behind all of it. And again, I'm not saying that, and because I just said what I said about this woman, I'm not saying that she wasn't a victim. I'm not saying that she doesn't have her own demons to work out, but there are plenty of people in this world who've been victimized in horrible ways, who don't in turn decide, because it was a decision, not at all challenging the steps or the things that led to it, but it was a decision on her part to in turn go and inflict that same pain on other people. Anyway, that was a good thing for Tandy to at least finally have this empathy for her mom, but where her mom is gone, the rest of the episode, Tyrone, finding a pair of low hangers we didn't know he had, finding that G side, that was mama's side of his DNA coming out in this episode with these gang members, dropping them off buildings and such, bringing them back and being like, listen, I can do this all day. I got all day, son, all day. Lord have mercy, that part where I was like, I need you to stop. And he's like, okay, but you don't understand. Like, if you take a look at my business plan here, right? If you look at subsection 5, part 3, you can see that a big portion of my business is pimps. Like, boy, if you don't just nod your head and agree, You know what I'm saying? The smart thing to do when a man is about to end your life is just to agree with what the man says, even if you don't mean it. I appreciate what Ty's trying to do. I don't know that it's actually gonna work because it is a much, like, drugs are a worldwide global issue, far bigger than New Orleans, but I understand what Ty's saying. Like, he doesn't want to just sit back and do nothing. He has these abilities, and since the beginning of the season, we've seen that he's struggled with not doing anything with them. So, obviously, he knows that something's up with his mom. He didn't have time to pursue it in this episode, but I think he's figured out that something's up with his mom and that she's lying about Connors. I don't think he thinks that she killed him, but yeah, I do wonder how he's going to react to finding out that she was capable of doing that, but there ain't nothing stronger in this world than a black mama, so he shouldn't be all that shocked when he finds out the truth. Outside of that, yeah, we just had potentially him ascending to his Loa status, Duchesne ascending to being a Loa, so we'll have to see what that means as far as the threat it's going to create. I speculated in the last episode that he might be able to now massively impact people. Like, I don't know if the trombone is part of it, because I keep calling it a trombone. It's a trumpet. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know if the trumpet is a very important part, like, because it disappeared along with him when Tandy threw that dagger. So I don't know if, like, he needs to play that music to do what he does, but my guess is going to be a Pied Piper thing. Like, he's going to play some music or just maybe be able to hum a note, and he'll be able to just control anyone who's able to hear him. Like I said, with him, the dangerous thing about villains like Duchesne is that it's not that he's the problem, it's the fact that he can hurt a lot of people. And that's what Kilgrave did in Jessica Jones, right? Like, it wasn't so much that he was the problem, but he could, like, cause people to harm themselves. He could throw just endless numbers of people in the way to get hurt, just needlessly harmed, to protect himself, or just to say screw you if you try to get at him. And that's what I think Duchesne is definitely turning into, that person. People are expendable to him. He needs to go. I don't know how they're going to take him out, and I don't think it's going to happen this season. As I said before, I think he's going to be a huge arcing villain in season 3, and I think they're going to need help to take him down. So I feel like this might be where we might see potential for crossover with the Runaways. And I know some people have said they're not too keen on the idea, and I honestly am not sure how it would all work, because the Runaways is a much lighter show in content and in overall tone than this show, but I'm not against it. I still think it'd be cool, and I think that maybe they might need a little extra help. If we brought the Runaways in, you know, we could get maybe someone like a Carolina or a Nico. Since Nico is also part of the Dark Force dimension through the staff, maybe there could be something that between her and Ty that could somehow contain what he's able to do. I'm interested to see it, though. This is shaping out to be a really good season. Like, this is how you do a good villain, shows. This is how you build up a good villain. So what did you guys think of this episode? How do you feel this season is going? How do you think Duchesne's gonna be stopped? Please leave your comments below. Let me know. Can he even be stopped? Because if he is this god, as they say, can he really be taken out? Please leave your comments below. Let me know what you're thinking. You know I love getting involved in that conversation with you. And if you like this video, guys, please click like. And if you want to see more from this geeky face, please click subscribe. Until next time,